Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is my incredible honor to introduce actually an inaugural visit by the Secretary of HUD here at a safe haven in Chicago. So please join me in welcoming him and allowing him to say a few words in regards to his visit and his vision. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. It's a real pleasure to be here. And, this is just the kind of place that is so incredibly important to develop our people. One of our big focuses at HUD has been focusing on people, not so much on programs, not so much on buildings, but programs and buildings are part of what is necessary in order to empower the people. And, in terms of getting people where they need to be, the wisest man who ever lived, Solomon, said, without a vision, the people perish. He was wise in everything except women, that is. But when you think about it, so many of our people have sort of lost that vision of the American dream. They think it's for somebody else. It's not for them. And a place like a safe haven creates, through partnerships, federal, state, local, nonprofits, private sector, faith-based organizations, focusing on people, bringing all of those resources under one roof. All of a sudden, you have what you need to get people out of poverty. And to support some people who will never be able to support themselves, we have an obligation as a compassionate society to take care of those people who cannot take care of themselves, but to do it in a way that provides dignity for them and provides the appropriate comfort for them. So I'm absolutely thrilled with what has been going on here. It is the epitome of what we talk about with the EnVision Centers, economic empowerment, educational advancement, character and leadership, health and wellness. We bring all those things and the things that support those pillars together, and we will be successful. And just the last thing I want to say very quickly is it is absolutely critical that people sitting around this table and people throughout our nation recognize that we all have a sphere of influence and we're all in the same boat. And if part of the boat goes down, the rest of it's going down too. So, let's not allow the purveyors of division to divide us. A house divided against itself cannot stand. There's never been a nation that has undergone severe division that has been successful. And it's going to be up to us. We don't have to take our leads from the politicians. We don't have to take our leads from the media. We are the American people. We are the ones who determine who we are as a nation. We're not those people you see on the 6:30 news who are trying to kill each other. We are people who reach out and help our neighbors. That's what a safe haven is doing.
Thank you, Secretary Carson. I am incredibly honored to have you here, and I'm incredibly honored to pass the mic along to the people that actually on the front lines that are either experiencing the challenges or are on the front lines of helping the people overcome those challenges. So I would love to introduce you to my right here to Tiffany, who's here at a safe haven. She'll tell you a bit about her story and why she's here and what's happening and what her hopes and dreams are.
Thank you. Good morning, I'm Tiffany. I'm 28 years old. I started using about 10 years ago. I was raised with a good family. Both my parents are still together, 2 other sisters. Started hanging with the wrong crowd. Got into a car accident. Started using the medication the doctor gave me. My addiction just kind of went on from there. I slowly went from alcohol to pills, and then I ended up getting the heavier stuff. I've been back and forth in the jail and treatments for the past 7 years. A lot of the treatment centers I went to never worked because it's just a really short programs, and I kind of they kick you out after 30, 60, 90 days. And that's why I love it here. I've attempted to get sober many times, but I'm a chronic relapser. I started, once I lost my job and everything, I worked with animals. It's like my passion. It's like what God put me here to do, and it's like my natural high. And I had a really good thing going for me, but I ruined it. That doesn't mean I can't get back on there. That's why Safe Haven has given me the motivation to believe in myself again and to get back on track. It's amazing. They've helped me with so much. I've been here since February, and I've already done like job training. They help me with coping skills. I have therapy. Once I'm done with the CSAP program, I'm able to move on to the recovery part and be able to get my own apartment and just get my life together. It's a beautiful program. I was really broken when I got here, and I feel like a whole different person now. I have hope, and it's a beautiful feeling.
Can you explain what this is that term?
Yeah, it's the electronic monitoring program. We all have scans on. Basically, we're still inmates, but we're not in jail, which is awesome. I mean, we get to wear our own clothes. The food's a lot better. We can go to groups and help each other. So it's better than being in jail. It's a great program, and there is no other programs like this that I have known of.
And you bring out something that's so important, that is, it doesn't take very long to become addicted, but changes occur in the brain that normally take 12 to 18 months.
Right.
And that's why these short-term programs come from.
Yeah, absolutely. Addiction's going to be I'm going to be an addict for the rest of my life. So you can't just fix that in 30, 60, 90 days. It's just not going to happen. So that's why this program, they help you. They make sure you have everything. They don't just kick you out to the street, and that's what's so amazing about it. Thank you.
Oh. No, very smart. Thank you. We're honored you're here. I do have one question. Years ago, they formed the Homeless Interagency Council. And I was wondering if that was somehow to be tied in with your vision, the EnVision Centers.
Well, the Homeless Interagency Council, you've heard lots of things about whether it's still functional now. It's still functional. The cooperation between the various agencies is incredible. And with the EnVision Centers, 22 federal agencies have signed on and 20 sub-agencies. So the things that are available are really quite mind-boggling. I didn't even know about some of these things. But those things tie in extremely well with this whole concept.
Thank you.
Or did you?
Oh.
No, you guys.
Oh.
Introduce yourselves.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Please introduce yourself.
That
You should
takes us a
introduce
while.
yourself.
I'm John Neli. I'm the Chief Operating Officer here. I'm help with program development and fidelity, and also in charge of facility management, and also the security force. I come to a Safe Haven from the Illinois Department of Corrections after 26 years working within the system, and knowing that a lot of the challenges of the individuals that come out of the system, one of their major issues is housing, and also the continuum of care that we're able to give here. And that's why after retirement, I retired for about a week and I came to work here. And so,
I know the feeling.
yeah. And so, very excited to be here, the passion of the staff, and you get to see the growth of the individuals that are coming through here. And so, very excited to be here, and we'll see us grow even further.
Thank you.
Also a military veteran.
Well, good morning. My name is Neli, and I'm the Director of Workforce Development. I've been with Safe Haven now working to ensure that people have access to exhausted resources of employment and also the job readiness skill. And so we put a heavy concentration on working with individuals to make sure that they develop their soft skills, their resumes, their cover letter, and then more importantly, just understanding the financial literacy of having employment, and then how to make yourself become self-sufficient once you are able to transition out into your housing, and then from your housing, once you make that transition, to become independent and not have to have so many subsidies that go along with it. And so I think it's an incredible organization. I'm very proud to work for Safe Haven. And I think my team feels the passion as we move forward, and we can see directly as we see residents change their lives, as we see people who come employed and they come back with their stories. It's a more accomplished organization, and that's what makes it very unique, in my opinion. And so, really excited about the Vision Centers to see that we can really add to the one-stop shop system, which really can make people convert and change over from recovery, focusing on rehabilitation as well as habilitation, because sometimes if the things aren't there to rehabilitate, we have to install those in them during the workforce process. I'm definitely honored to be here today. It's a pleasure to be with you, Dr. Carson. I've studied some of your background, so definitely glad to have you with us. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Elizabeth Donahue. I'm the legal counsel here at Safe Haven, and I work with all the departments here at Safe Haven, with administration, with HR, with workforce development. And my job, I see, is to support this organization, everyone, so that our employees can do what they do in helping our residents and doing the great work that we do at Safe Haven. I'm very proud to be here.
I work for you, sir.
Hello, everybody. My name is Angel Rosado. When I first came here to Safe Haven, I came here in the end of 2016. I also came through the CSAT program, the Alternative Housing House Arrest. And when I got here, I volunteered for a lot of things. I truly could say that Safe Haven saved my life. I started with drugs at the age of 13. I'm 59 now, so I've been through a lot of treatment centers and nothing like Safe Haven. It's a miracle sent from God. They worked with me a lot. I've been through the job readiness, did the housekeeping program. I'm now employed for the Safe Haven. Truly, they worked in my life, and truly my goal is, if I can, with my testimony, if I can help one person, I did something in life. Safe Haven gave me so much, and nothing like, what was Safe Haven when I was younger? And truly could say they saved my life, and thanks to Safe Haven for having me and helping me out with my treatment.
Thank you for sharing that story, because that's what it's all about. Like I said before, we're all in this together. And as we rise, as one of us rises, all of us rise.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. Secretary. It's such a pleasure, as well as an honor to meet you. I remember reading and learning about you when I was in elementary school, and reading all of the Ebony magazine articles about you, and so it's just wonderful to be able to sit 2 seats away from you. So thank you for all of your contributions, not just for our community, African American community, but all of the contributions that you made to science. So thank you. My name is Tina Carter, known as Mrs. Carter. I serve as the Director of Education. I've been a part of Safe Haven for a little over 14 years now. It is such a wonderful privilege to serve here, not work here, but to serve here. And I'm going to keep my words brief, but the work that we do here is phenomenal. And thank you so very much. God bless you, sir.
Good morning, Secretary Carson. My name is Sharice Nicholas. I'm a program manager here, and I've been here about 16 years. I'm a graduate of this program. I struggle with drugs and alcohol. I know what it feels like for these clients to not have anywhere to go and feel homeless, and correctional department and things like that. But Safe Haven's been here for me, and it's more than a place of work. I'm the biggest cheerleader that they have here, probably me and my family. And Safe Haven saved my life, Through God, in this place, my life has done a 360-degree change. I've got a bachelor's degree since I've been here. I've extended my education on to trying to get a master's degree in social work. Right now I'm attending UIC. And without this place, without Safe Haven, without the spirit of love and caring in this place, I don't know where I would be. You know, my mom, she made all of us read Gifted Hands when we was young. She made us read that. So it's an honor and a privilege to be with you. And your EnVision Center is going to continue. We already have the spirit of changing lives here. So your EnVision Center is going to add to that, and I'm grateful to be a part of that. Thank you.
Such a good example of what I always talk about, and that is our people are our greatest resource. And we can let it be wasted, or it can be developed into a great flower like you.
Good morning, Dr. Carson. My name is Tracy Hardcastle, and I'm a resident here at St. Haven. It is an honor and a very privileged to meet you. Very excited. I am from Southern Illinois. I moved up here in November. I got addicted to painkillers when I was 19. I'd had a car wreck and cracked my neck. And I had been on them or something in that category ever since for 27 years. I came here, went to rehab, and got on the waiting list for a Safe Haven because I was told where the rehab that I was at that this was the best place to come because I wanted to stay up here instead of going back to where I'm from. So I ran into these people, and they do a day for a change, Amanda and Tony, and I worked for them, and they're through Safe Haven. I worked for them in their day program, and the second day I worked, they came up to me and they said, "We have you a bed." So it was such a blessing. It's such a blessing. And then they have the day for change work where they put everybody to work. You know, you meet them in a certain place. It's an awesome program. I have been here for 3 weeks. I've already tape tested, went through job skills, and next month I'm starting culinary arts. This is an amazing program. I am so, it's life-changing. It completely is changing and my life for the better, and I honestly don't know where I would be if I didn't have you guys in Safe Haven. Everybody's just so awesome. It's like you're at home, like a family. We, like where we stay, and it's just awesome. I can't even say enough good things about it. I love it, and I'm privileged to be here.
And I bet you're going to be an awesome chef.
Thank you. I will. I'll thank you.
Sherry, did you want to say something? Say
She's been the most excited person.
I work girls. I laid down last night. I was so excited. I just want to say, I work very closely with Neli and Brian. I am part of the fundraising team. I'm the director of grants. And, you know, first off, let me say we're grateful for the amount of HUD funding that we have that pretty much pays for all of our beds here in this facility and beyond. But more than anything, I think I was more excited, you know, when we won the award for the Soul Chicago EnVision Center. But secondly, the fact that you took time out of your very busy schedule to come and validate what we do. So, thank you. That's all I have to say about that.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is James Johnson.
Mr. Ben Carter, like both of you, like Peter, I heard a lot of things about your history, what you do, and I appreciate that. But my journey is, I grew up in the south side of Inglewood High School, Inglewood, south side of Chicago. And, I was 16 when I first started my drug usage, you know what I mean? So I grew up in, there was a lot of gang banging Friday. So I played basketball, sports. That was one way we got community sports or military, you know what I mean? So I chose basketball. I went to Paul Robeson, 2 years there, and then 2 years at CBS. And I had a basketball scholarship to go to Florida National University. I went down there. My third year, I tore my knee up, you know. So my dream was to get my mom's, you know, make it NBA, make my mom's buy a house, the whole dream of New York, you know. And I seen that dream damaged because I couldn't repair my knee the way I wanted to be back the same again. And I started using drugs and, you know, felt sorry for myself and everything. So I started using heavy drugs and everything. And
But then I arrived here in Safe Haven in 2016 under the CSAP program. I was in the chair program. I was there for a while. But since I've been there in 2000, I volunteer for everything. I help my drugs abuse. So Kevin Hawkins used to tell me every day, just make yourself do something positive. So I did everything here at Safe Haven. It's a beautiful place. It changed my life big time. You know what I mean? I worked at Pantry. I did the Chicago County for the homeless. I did everything was necessary. You know what I mean? When I did my turnaround in September last year, she reached her nose right and gave me a chance in my life. She believed it. Gave me a chance to the laundry room, in the laundry room. Now I'm on the third floor and be man up this program. I'm doing case aid work, And she believed it. So today I take my drug use, I make music. I make things to you. So I make music every day. I have a sponsor. I do whatever's necessary for me to do today. Because I lost my mom and my dad like back to back in 2012. So I've been like on my own, but since then I got my sister and my brothers back and my kids back in my life through the Safe Haven program. You know what I mean? So it got me some, they put a lot of tears in my eyes. I've been through a lot, But since I've been in Safe Haven, they gave me a chance. I just want to be part of the family. That's all I got.
James, where do you live?
Well, I hope that story gets told to lots of people because it can be a great encouragement.
James, where do you live?
Richmond. Huh?
You have your own apartment now, right?
Yes, sir.
One of our affordable housing units?
Yes, let me finish that.
Same thing, I got an apartment, Mr. Carson. I want to get that straight right now. Program is safe, and, we need assistance and all the help we can to prevent people like me to have another hope and they can continue on. I appreciate it.
Hello, I'm Hope Potter. Oh my god, I'm so excited to meet you. Like, I was like in the other room like, oh my god, look! Such a fangirl. Okay. So this program is incredible because it's not just staff. They're your family. They check in with you every day. They ask you what you need. They're invested in who you are and where you're gonna be years from now. And I think it's so hard to find. It's so hard to find genuine people that really care. So, Miss Belinda is our case manager, and she goes above and beyond to get us to where we need to be. I could not ask for more, honestly. And I started off. I'm adopted from Belize. My family environment was not the best because my mom didn't really like me, but my dad wanted me, so it was kind of like this awkward, weird balance. So, but being here, I've gotten to talk to the counselors downstairs, and I've gotten to share my story with them, and I've gotten to a point where it's like, it is what it is, and where I can go from here is what matters to me. So I'm just so incredibly honored to be here and to meet you. Oh my gosh. So that's all.
Well, I'll tell you, it's inspiring to me when I see individuals who've been through a program like this, moving in the right direction, becoming role models themselves for others. And like I said, we only have 330 million people in this country. It sounds like a lot, but it's a quarter of what China has, a quarter of what India has. And if we're going to be able to compete into the future, we have to develop all of our people. There is no one that we can throw away. And we have to be concentrating on our prisons, on re-entry, on getting people trained, on hooking them up with employers, and utilizing the whole host of different things that exist at the federal, state, and local levels. Because what we're really talking about is an investment. We're not talking about throwing away money. That's what we used to do. In the old days, we just threw money away. But now, by concentrating on the people, we're looking at investments. And every one of those individuals who becomes a contributing member of society is a great success. And maybe the next person who discovers the cure for AIDS, or a new energy source, or becomes the greatest chef the world has ever known. It does, there are all kinds of possibilities here. So I want to thank Neli and her husband Brian for what they did to get this started, all the people who've been involved here. This is absolutely the perfect embodiment of the EnVision Center concept, which we will just strengthen so that we can strengthen the community.
Well, I am, I just want to say I'm, overwhelmed, with joy. And, I was actually interviewed in Washington, D.C. the day that the announcement was made that you were being brought in as the new secretary, and I was it just fell into place to me that who better than someone that's in the business of healing, right, to lead our nation in an agency that was broken, and started off with really, really great ideas, and all of our agencies did, for the right reasons, but somewhere along the lines became siloed and acting independently and not working as a unit, right, with a single-minded mission of helping people, which was why they were there in the first place. I just was, it just blew me away, because I did see the movie, I didn't read the book. I did see the movie. That we would have a doctor, that can diagnose the problem, first diagnose the problem before he decides, what the proper protocol was going to be, and a prescription that took into account that maybe in some cases medications needed, but maybe not in other cases, because we both know, and you mentioned this as well, that the disease of substance abuse, for example, which is a leading reason why many people are here, it is a disease. Substance abuse is a disease, right? But it's not curable, but it's manageable. And we know that because in this room, there's lots of proof, right, that it works. And I just am so excited to have someone here at the helm that, is looking at this holistically, is looking at the whole body, and is looking at the whole body of the population, right, in terms of what is the ecosystem that's going to foster healing and success in a sustainable way that's not only going to help us, those of us that are in the room right here, right, all the stakeholders, but the next generation and the next generation. So it is my honor to have been designated as an EnVision Center here at AC Haven, and I promise you that everybody in this room is committed to making sure that your decision, including the directors and the deputy director from HUD are here, is going to be truly something that you're going to be proud of. That is our goal, and that is what we're committed to doing. So thank you so much, and so many lives and more testimonials are going to come out every day that are going to pay huge tribute and honor to you. So thank you so much.
All right, thank you, everyone.